Hello, Legend Plus, and welcome back to some more Legend Reviews. Today we'll be talking about Destiny 2's current season, the Season of Arrival. I have to say, as a personal note at the beginning of the video, and at the beginning of this entire season in general, I thought this season was great. There's a lot of content in there that both fit well into the situation of COVID-19 and everything going on, as well as it made the whole COVID-19 dealio fun without making it too complex or too annoying. Something that Season of the Worthy did not do that well. I kid you not. That public event scenario we had back in Season of the Worthy, I liked it. It was a cool idea, but it was not fun after the first couple of Now, on to the review. Destiny 2's Season of Arrivals. The beginning, the missions, the story, all of it was fantastic. I had an amazing ideal of horrifying love towards the story at the beginning. It's not every day you wake up to figure out, well, I don't know what's going to happen in Bungie's brand new adventure and storyline yet. Just to find out that, oh, you know Io, a normal location that we've had since year one? Yeah, there's a giant pyramid above it. Is horrifying. The story is beautifully well crafted and scary at the same time. Knowing that the darkness is finally here and we don't know why they're not attacking. We don't know why they're not doing anything. We're questioning everything we've ever known about the darkness because they're here, and we want to know why. We want to know what's going on, and it's amazing. Not to mention, it does so much more for the rest of the story. Character development, character individual storylines. Take Zavala versus Eris Morning at the same time. They did not fight. They just are kind of in a mutual. Why? Simple. Eris Morning wants to study about why they're doing these things. Zavala wants to just blow up the ship because the darkness is here. It challenges their dogma, challenges their way of thinking. It's horrifying, but it makes sense. Not to mention, it does a great combination for environmental storytelling. Having the one day where the rest of the pyramids just arrive on Mercury, Io, Titan, Mars was most dramatic experience because of how silently amazing everything was. Just to see them there, just to see them hold up, still doing nothing. They've surrounded us, and it feels even greater of a challenge than it was before, knowing that the darkness, the pyramids are now everywhere, and there's nothing we can do about it. We're waiting for the Traveler to do something. We're trying to figure out a bigger way we can fight this Traveler. But in reality, we got nothing. Oh, it was amazing. It was horrifyingly amazing. My jaw dropped the instant I saw Mercury's pyramid. Mercury's pyramid is very beautiful. I'm sorry. I always had a passion for Mercury, but seeing that pyramid just hover above it gave me more reason to love it and more reason to be scared of pyramids because how dramatically awesome that was. Anyways, though, back to the review. There wasn't anything big I had against the whole story concept, especially since the activity, the contact public event that we're currently doing right now in the background, was actually enjoyable. I didn't have any problem with the contact public event, for one specific reason. Unlike Season of the Arrival's public event, which was annoying and tedious and beyond all means difficult, which no one had fun with, no one could really control due to the fact that, the main bloody triumph to get the almighty seal or triumph or whatever was done was so bloody difficult that every time I run into someone who has an almighty title, I ask them, how do you have that? And they always respond with, I have no idea, bro. So yeah, I'm just gonna flip off Bungie and say screw you to that. Seriously, I can't describe how more annoying that public event was. To hear that they had a public event going on this season, it scared me thinking that, oh god, did you not learn your lesson the first time? But after seeing and playing the public event again and again and again to see that it is purely easy and actually fun and entertaining to do, even I have to admit, it's fun. It's entertaining. It's nice to know that it's not difficult. It's not asking too much. It's not being a prick more than half the time. Again, sorry Season of the Worthy, but that was all completely on me. The public event was fun. The story modes that we had going on throughout the entirety of the Season of the Rivals arc, such as the evacuation questline, the exotic quests as well, aka freaking, mainly again the evacuation questline for Travelers Chosen, but as well as Ruinous Effigy questline. That was fun. The Darkness giving us our first weapon that was gifted to us by them, and not by the Extra Stranger, aka No Time to Display. And also not by the Hive, aka way too many exotics to count. Thorn, Necrochasm, even that one gun that Orbs gave us. What was that gun name? I can't remember. But still, this was the first gun that was ever given to us by the Darkness themselves. I mean, there are a couple exceptions. Exceptions I'm not willing to go through. Why? Because, you know. Story arcs all were amazing. Submissions, the evacuation questline, the lore that we got knowing that Rasputin became an Exo, as well as the characters that are coming with us back into the tower, just so they can actually stay and survive and not die a horrible death, we're assuming. It's good to know. It's great to know. It feels awesome to know that what characters are staying in, why they're staying in. It feels good to know everything that's going on. The story arcs of everything that's going on are so fantastic. The environmental design has shaken, whatever the term would be. It has shook. Everything is going. The pyramids arriving, the caskets of freaking extra loot, as well as, I don't know, what would the word be? Probably just loot to be in general with, but loot as well as freaking again, I couldn't really say. Loot, freaking resources, all that crap from the planets that are about to be forgotten about and left throughout the rest of the season. It does feel nice to know that everything is changing. The tower, the worlds around us, it feels great. As well as adding in characters that we never thought we'd see together. For example, Drifter, Eris Morn, as well as Zavala. Background dialogue that we were just hearing, I gotta admit, even I enjoy hearing Eris Morn and Drifter either go at it with each other or agree with each other, knowing that the darkness is here, something needs to be done about it. Something else I did enjoy much about this season is the Prophecy Dungeon. Now, for anyone who does not know, the Prophecy Dungeon will be leaving at the end of the season. However, Bungie has announced that because they want it to keep it in, but because it's labeled as seasonal content, it will be leaving with the season because that's the way they program these things. Sometime in the future, as we know it, it will be returning. When? We have absolutely no idea. They have absolutely no idea. All that we know is that sometime in the future, it's gonna be coming back. That's wholesomely about it. Now, again, with the Prophecy Dungeon, it felt perfect, giving us a reason to grind even harder, to go into a dungeon, to go into the realm of the Nine, to ask them one question. What is the darkness? Only to be given a simple derogatory answer that even kind of stands for one thing. The Nine knows, and they also don't know, because they're pretty much an infamous space-like force with infamous knowledge that keeps asking what every 5 freaking minutes. Which I love and hate about the Nine. Now, back to everything. Public event, fun, peaceful, and not annoying. Again, screw you, Bungie. Prophecy Dungeon was definitely a grind for it the first couple of days, and in fact, it was the one thing I kept coming back for. I wanted the revamp of Trials of the Nine armor. I wanted the new Dino armor. It wasn't what I was striving for, but I definitely wanted to have it, just because new armor and new weapons. The Umbral Engram was revolutionary. Practically just as powerful, if not more powerful than the Prime Engram, and gives off new update with more modified loot from previous seasons was amazing, as well as bringing back the 3 exotic swords that we've had back in Destiny 1. Now, they may not be as awesome or as legendary as we remember them, but you have to admit, it's nice to have them back, and I keep throwing myself off the map for very peculiar reasons. What was irritating about was the fact that the seasonal content happened every freaking day. While this season, it happened once a week. The freaking contact public event and weekly mission only happened once. Go to the current area that the pyramids are making a nuisance of. Go attack, go fuel the area with go fuel your silver wings with the taken energy from there, and then go contact the darkness. It's very simplistic and it only happens once a week, unlike dealing with the bunkers every single day, as well as refilling the bunkers for their defense mechanisms. Again, it makes sense, but boy, it was tedious. This season, it didn't feel as tedious. The fact that it only had to be 1 week, the fact that the public event was easy and not horribly unbearable to deal with, made the whole event fun, and not to mention, made me want to come back to do it, because it was the current season event, and, you know, free loot and whatnot. It was fun. The Forerunner title didn't feel that hard to get, and I'm not saying the title is something I would put in a review, just saying that if you were curious as to getting the title, and how difficult it would be, comparing it to Season of the Worthies, and Season of the Undyings, and Season of the Dawns, I'd say this is probably the easiest title to get, period. It wasn't that horrible, it wasn't that difficult, and not to mention, it was actually kind of fun. Now, we've talked about the exotics, we talked about the story, we talked about everything. I have to say, let's talk about the freaking missions that we had to deal with. Going in to find all the Shriekers, killing the Shriekers, and week by week, gaining a little bit more lore about freaking the darkness was amazing. It was great. This season was awesome, and I have to love it. I've got to love it. The only thing I have to say was tedious was the fact that this season was basically day 1. The darkness is luring us in so we can talk to us about something. We don't know what. Why? Simple. Because Savathun is interfering, and we're working on months and months and months of progress so that we can stop Nokris and his army. God, do I mean army of Shriekers. Just to learn that, oh, go to your rope. Why? Because the darkness is telling us. It felt a little bit like a letdown, just to know that we've been doing months and months and months of work for a 5-second conversation. It felt awkward, and it felt like an awesome letdown. Just felt like it could have been so much more. Now, again, there is been reported to be a live event that will come in, but unfortunately, because I need to make this review and upload it before Beyond Light gets in here, that event has not happened yet as of lately, at least for me. And I'm currently in past future me. I have no idea what's going to happen. All I know is that we're going to get some form of an emblem. That's about that. Until then, don't. But yeah. Missions were fun. The seasonal events, contact public events, I thought I was going to be very scared to hear that was a public event, because again, I thought Bungie did not learn their lesson the first time about the Season of the Worthies public event. But the loot we got from it was amazing. The loot that we got from it was fun. You could get it from almost every activity, unless it was dungeon specific. And even then, dungeon specific wasn't that much. It wasn't that specific. It was loot that you could get from previous seasons, just, you know, reamped up. So that way, we can get more loot. We can get more upgrade new loot that we could see again and use again in the future. It was nice, you know? Especially Gnawing Hunger. Especially Gnawing Hunger. I mean, it's annoying, but, you know, Gnawing Hunger is good to have. Reamping and rebringing back current loot will get annoying and will get used just a little bit too much in the future, I think. But okay as long as we're not overdoing it, as long as we are creating new weapons and armor pieces for the seasons. I think we should be fine as a Destiny 2 fan base. We won't go too crazy. God, I hope, anyways. Yeah, this season, I have to say, nothing really bad to take me off this season. The rewards from each activity being Prophecy, the Contact Public event, as well as the story missions and defeating Noctis, and even the lore for this season, and the storytelling between the characters, the story, and the environment was all phenomenal. But again, it did feel like a bit of a letdown. Just at the ending, of course. Killing Noctis felt great. He always felt like someone that was trying to both warn us and threaten us at the same time with this, Savathun will kill you, stay back. Or, well, it's your fate, not my problem. It always felt like that, a threat and a warning. Like he was a puppet, he was up. Like he was a puppet, but he was also trying to tell us of his own free will, stay the frick back. And frankly, I can't blame him. Contact Public event, fun, but not tedious. The missions, fun, but not tedious, and informative. And this time, instead of it being like what Season of the Undying did, where basically Eris Morn just told us every week what was going on, the messages she received from the darkness, this time it was grabbing, it was attentioning, it was something that said, hey, look at me, I am the darkness and I will tell you something. Back in Season of the Undying, it really didn't grab my attention. In fact, I completely forgot that the darkness was texting us. I completely forgot it until Season of the Dawn, where I went back to the moon, talked to Eris Morn, and she finally said, hey, we need to talk. You know those messages I've been trying to send you about the darkness? Yeah, you haven't been receiving them. You're on 2 of 15. Catch up. I honestly did not finish all of those messages until, like, the dawning, and I felt so ashamed, because that was months ago. That was months when Shadowkeep had arrived. But this season, it felt like an attention grabber. It felt like the darkness was something I needed to keep on track with. Otherwise, I was a hopeless fool, not knowing what a frickin' I'm happy about it. This season was attention grabbing. The exotics and the missions were great. The Contact Public event is not too difficult. Even people who didn't care about making heroic still made it heroic because you got extra loot from it. The Umbral engram system is revolutionary. The character design, the character arcs, everything they did this season was fantastic, and I freaking love it. But again, I understand that because this was a seasonal event, it was a bit of a letdown due to the ending just saying, hey, go to your room. There's power there. Infamous power. But other than that, it felt great. This season, I'd have to give out of 5 stars a 4.9 out of 5 stars. This season did amazing. And out of 10? Not 10 stars, just, you know, out of 10, I'd have to give this 9 out of 10. This season did awesome, and I can't wait to see what Bungie does even more. Out of all 4 seasons combined, so far, this is ranking number 2. Season of the Dawn's ranking number 1, mainly because Season of the Dawn was an awesome season. The only thing that irritated me about it was the freaking Fractaline BS. Yeah, I'm still salty about the Fractaline. I'm sorry, Bungie, but that grind was even more difficult than you wanted it to be. Number 1 was Season of the Dawn. Number 2, Arrival. Number 3, Undying, and that's mainly just because it didn't have a lot of content. It was a great season, it just did not have content. And number 4 being Season of the Worthy. It has a great story and a great idea, but all of the content that came with it was both annoying, just did not make me want to come back and replay it. But yeah, that's my review for Season of the Arrival. Bungie, I hope you learned a lesson or two about this season. It's fun, a bit of a letdown, but everything you did in this season was great. Prophecy, Contact, even the story missions, as well as the cinematics and the freaking in-game cinematics, and the exotics, and the side quests as well. Primarily the live events and the freaking, excavation? No, I'm thinking of Escalation Protocol. The evacuation quest line. All of this, well done, and I can't wait to see more things just like this in the future. Bungie, you did a great job with this season, and I can't wait to see more work. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more, and I'll see you, Legend players, in the next video, which probably will not be a review. Bye! Love you guys. Bye-bye!